You're live. Hello and good evening and welcome. I don't think anybody is actually present to be listening to this deranged old fool, but presently I don't think there is anyone at all. So I think I'm talking to an empty gallery, which this is a first for me. Normally there are loads of you waiting, but it seems that there is no one, but no, here comes Heidi and Julie and Bernadette, Lucy, Kaz, Melissa, and Chili Kareen, Sharon and Bernadette and CJ. Good evening to you all. Nicole and Shane and Susie Ashenden. Hello, Tim Fowler, Pennine Counties. Yes, so there's lots of you. You come in very quickly. I don't know how you find me, but you're very efficient people. I must say I admire your tenacity and your determination to find me. But hello to all of you. Thank you very much for your kind support. And today we had visitors from London who are amongst your group, but they don't wish to be named. But they were very nice ladies, a mother and a daughter, and they came to visit Broadstairs. Charming, delightful people, and they interacted with our locals. And in the room here, I think he won't mind being mentioned, is the lovely Finn. So Finn is back in the room. You haven't got Min, but you have got Finn. So Finn is going to say a quick hello.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
There you go. So you've had a hello from Finn, and Finn will have his magnet Christmas cards ready for you shortly. Well, not Christmas cards, just cards for general use. So I hope that you'll be able to order some of these cards, and we will arrange ways of sending them to you. He has drawn the magnet, and I think since you're also magnetic, you would all like to have a pack of 5 of his cards, and then you can use them for correspondence. You can send a thank you note after you go to a dinner party or whatever you do, or just a little card for someone who you don't know. So I don't know, whatever you wish to do with them. But Finn is needing encouragement to get these cards going because I have been pestering him for months. So if Bernadette says, yes, please, Pennine County says, hello, Finn, I'm looking forward to the sketches. There you go. We are getting requests for the printing. So Finn, will you produce the cards next week?
Of course.
He will produce the cards next week. Obviously, with Christmas posting times, it could be difficult, but as long as he hurries up, we can get them on. XP Aladocious asks, is Finn actually Banksy? No, he is not Banksy. But the lovely guest today did give me a Banksy type woodcut. It is an amazing thing. This cutting of a piece of wood that resembles a Banksy sketch stencil. So I have been given a piece of artwork today, but I can't show you that quite yet. But we may show you that at a later date. Cass Williams is complaining, the Royal Mail haven't delivered to most of my town in 10 days. Avoid, avoid. Well, the Royal Mail is not very regal anymore, is it, Cass Williams? I'm terribly sorry, but I cannot do anything about the Royal Mail. That is not quite within my remit, and I'm sorry to say the Royal Mail are pretty much not anything other than a hopeless sham these days, just like our railways, which are all on strike yet again this weekend. This is a nation that is living in cloud cuckoo land. We cannot continue like this, and it's time someone brought in competition for these organisations that can't be bothered to work. It is the royal fail, says Nicole. Yes, I totally agree. Paulie says the Bernard Weatherall jumper is very smart. Yes, this is one of my cashmere jumpers from Bernard Weatherall. I'm not sponsored by Bernard Weatherall. I wish I were, but I have more clothes from there than you can possibly imagine. I've got boxes and boxes of them upstairs that I haven't even taken out. That is ridiculous. I've never actually worn them. It's just I love everything from Bernard Weatherall. My shirts are from Bernard Weatherall. My jumpers are from Bernard Weatherall. I don't possess a pair of trousers from Bernard. My coat is from Bernard Weatherall over there. My gilet is from Bernard Weatherall. A great company, and it's a great shame that they had to close down in Cadogan Place from the wonderful gun merchant, the gun shop where they operated from, because of the greedy Carlton Tower being redeveloped. Never mind, but we love Bernard Weatherall, and if you want a bargain, I believe they are selling their gilets at £12.99 this weekend. I got an email about it, but I have no affiliation with Bernard Weatherall, so it's up to you. But go on their website, you can get a bargain. Everything is always a bargain. There's always a bargain to be had, but the products are excellent and very high quality. So there we go. Please don't use the Royal Mail to send Finn's cards, says Kaz. Well, I don't know what other system we could use to send them to you, but there we go. I think we'll have to consider what else could be done if you think the Royal Mail is not suitable. There we are. So I don't really know what to say further about selling Finn's cards via the Royal Mail. Anyway, perhaps we can talk about an issue of the day. And an issue of the day, to me, is a woman called Camilla Tominey. Now, Camilla Tominey, let me find my notes, is a woman who, quite frankly, should be on the baby Stockholm. Now, where are my notes on Camilla? Oh, here we are, Camilla Tominey. Now, she works as the associate editor of the Daily Telegraph. She claims to be Mrs. Royal Expert. She is representing Knight Ayton Management. Camilla Tominey is someone I have little to no respect for. She's a teetotaler for a start, which puts me off from the beginning. I don't like people who don't drink. Now, I think she has a fair excuse. Finn finds this very funny, but her mother had alcohol issues, allegedly. So that is something that we perhaps can excuse, but I don't tend to like people who don't drink. So cheers to all us drinkers out there. I like a boozer more than I like a teetotaler. I'm sorry to say it. I don't find people who are teetotal fun because they're mostly preachy and boring, and they try to patronize me. So they can bog off. So that's a reason to dislike Camilla. But I don't know Camilla personally. I think the real Camilla, the famous Camilla, is an absolute delight. And the real Camilla, I can tell you, Queen Camilla, she loves a beverage, and that makes her super cool. She's up there in the league of good drinkers. Anyway, the self-declared seasoned royal commentator, what a pompous prat she sounds, Camilla Tominey, has been moaning about how the Daily Telegraph should not be sold to a misogynistic regime. This is Camilla Tominey. Camilla Tominey is one of the closest associates of Prince Andrew, Prince Randy Andy. Randy Andy, the man who hung around with the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein after he got out of prison for his first criminal offense, whose wife, Fergie, happily took money off the paedophile after he got out of prison and other benefits. A person who abused women. And this is a woman, Camilla Tominey, who jokes and giggles with Randy Andy, Prince Andrew, and thinks it's all so fun. But yet again, it decides now that the Daily Telegraph, her employer, may be sold to the UAE-backed fund called Redbird IMI, she thinks it is ridiculous that they should be sold to a misogynistic regime. Now, she was quite happy to belittle victims of Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew in the past, but now she's playing the feminist card. Now, Camilla Tominey, make up your mind, love. Are you on the side of the women, or are you on the sides of the royal? Are you on the side of Randy Andy, or are you just using the UAE because you think that your job could be in peril? Now, you are a woman who has come out hypocritically with comments that are frankly indicative of you sucking up to Prince Andrew and the royal family. You're hardly someone who has celebrated women's issues that Prince Andrew, a man who hung around with Jeffrey Epstein, a paedophile, you have been photographed guffawing like the fool with him. You have on your website, Camilla Tominey, a section called Your Loves, websites you love. One of them is the website of Prince Andrew. Well, Prince Andrew paid a £12 million settlement to a woman he allegedly sexually abused. How can you love women and be anti-misogyny if you support that? Your second one is This Morning. You love that as a website, Camilla Tominey. Now, This Morning was the program run by a man called Philip Schofield, was the main presenter. He was exposed as a bit of a sexual nuisance, allegedly, and an investigation is underway to that. So, Camilla Tominey, as a lady who is anti-misogyny and things like that, why is your favorite love This Morning's website? Your third love is a website called Party Pieces, which is run by, was run before it went bankrupt by the family of the former Kate Middleton, who is now the Princess of Wales. It is a bankrupt business. So, Camilla Tominey, your choices of association are rather questionable. There are 3 choices of questions. Don't worry, I've taken screenshots because I've had people like you before. I've come across people like you before. People who like to then deny things. I had an issue with Max Clifford and his daughter. I managed to expose that lady who stole content from her convicted criminal father website. I don't think you're in that league at all. Camilla Tominey, you are just simply a journalist, but you are an absolute hypocrite because you're going on about misogyny at the fact of the people who might buy the Telegraph. They are simply bidders for the Telegraph. I am not anything to do with the UAE. I am nothing to do with Redbird IMI, but I will say that you are making a storm in a teacup to try and get yourself a better job somewhere else. You obviously don't want to be associate editor of the Daily Telegraph as 111 Buckingham Palace Road, Victoria, London, SW1WODT anymore, and you have said that the Redbird IMI don't pass the sniff test. You say that they fall short of Western standards and values and don't allow human rights, freedom of expression. You're echoed by the idiot Conservative Party Culture Secretary Lucy Fraser, who has ordered the Ofcom investigate the deal for risking the need for accurate presentation of the news and free expression in newspapers. You've banged on about sexism, and you inquired, Lucy Fraser and Rishi Sunak should be wise to ask themselves one fundamental question. Do they want women like me to carry on writing these sorts of articles at the Telegraph or not? Now, you are an absolute hypocrite, Tominey. Miss Tominey, you must be remembered as somebody who has not celebrated women's rights, given your apologetic nature for Prince Andrew. In September 2021, and I will now provide the link. I will provide you with a link to my very article where I reference this, September 2021. This is a link to an article about what Camilla had to say about Prince Andrew and Virginia Roberts Giuffre, a lady who has received £12 million from Prince Andrew for the sexual abuse that she allegedly suffered. He does not accept that he committed sexual offences, but he paid £12 million. Now, let's think about why would you pay money if you didn't do anything. So, the article in question she wrote was the 21-day race to save Prince Andrew's reputation. This was back in September 2021. This is after Prince Andrew has made a complete prat of himself on Newsnight. Emily Maitlis has made a complete fool of him. He looks worse than the village idiot. He talked about going to Pizza Express and how he couldn't sweat. You know, he's a member of the royal family. He brought shame upon his wonderful mother, Queen Elizabeth, who was the most wonderful, wonderful lady, a lady of great dignity, a lady of stature. And she forgave him always because she just treated him as the favorite child, and he could do no wrong, even though he married the toe-sucking crazy woman Fergie, who was, going around taking money off anybody she possibly could. So, anyway, this woman, Tominey, called him Prince Andrew at that time, September 2021. This is after he has been exposed for what has gone on with Virginia Giuffre Roberts, or Roberts Giuffre, whichever way you want to call it, or just Virginia Giuffre. A doting family man who has turned a crisis into an opportunity. Well, we all know what happened next. We are now in 2023. Prince Andrew is an international laughingstock. So Camilla Tominey is not exactly Mystic Meg, is she? She can't predict anything other than a bus ticket. She's absolutely useless. She said, I would say, was she on acid or was she on crack? She is a teetotaler, of course, as I've mentioned before. So I will bring that up again. But the commentator, who I get on very well with, Mick Wright, observed she was running an ongoing supine public relations campaign on behalf of the royals and particularly Randy Andy. She claimed Virginia Giuffre it could prove to be a case of be careful what you wish for. Well, Virginia has still kept all of her settlement, and Prince Andrew has not got any of it back. So Camilla Tominey is not exactly journalist of the century. She's not exactly journalist of the minute. She's not journalist. She's more like journalist of the moron. This lady is now working for GB News. She also in the past worked alongside the most discredited piece of scumbag who treated Diana, Princess of Wales, so badly, Martin Bashir. She also who also treated Michael Jackson, who was the most lovely, wonderful person when I met Michael Jackson, and he was a lovely gentleman. I know many people don't like him, but he was a delightful, talented person. And I met him and his monkey and Bubbles, and it was a wonderful thing. And she also loves Brexit. So, Camilla Tominey, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. I hope that whoever buys the Telegraph fires you. I hope they blow you to oblivion. You don't deserve a career because you spout drivel. You are an apologist for Randy Andy, the worst example of royal failure other than Scobie and Meghan and Harry. All of them should be sent to Siberia, but you should be on the Bibby Stockholm with them. So, Camilla Tominey, I hope you're listening. I bet you're not, because I'm of no relevance. I'm a nobody. I'm an utter unimportant person, but I do have a little following, and I hope this message gets to you. You are the weakest link, and I hope the new buyers of the Telegraph return the Telegraph to the once decent paper that it was. When I used to know Bill Deeds, who was the only person to be an editor of a newspaper and a cabinet minister at the same time, and he ran the Telegraph, and the likes of Max Hastings, decent people read the Telegraph. People like my father, not one of them read it anymore. The Telegraph is a comic. It is a bunch of rubbish. And why is it a bunch of rubbish? Because you are there, Camilla Tominey. You don't tell anything other than you don't talk anything other than nonsense. And I don't like your style of presentation. I think it is time to restore the once decent Daily Telegraph, and I would love to be able to start reading it again. And I hope that the new buyers are the people from the UAE, just so they can get rid of you, because you've made a huge error in insulting them. You are the weakest link. I hope they say goodbye. Anyway, that's enough about you. You're a bore. You're a piece of rubbish and you're a drip. Anyway, I watched a program last night called The Playboy Bunny Murder. I have some interest in this because I know certain people who were involved in the Playboy Club. I did go to the Playboy Mansion on Washington in California, and I know somebody who ran the Playboy Club in London, and I also knew a couple who were very involved in running the Playboy businesses in England. And the Playboy Bunny murder is all about the murder of a lady called Eva Stratford, which occurred on the 8th of March, 1975. And this is a 2-episode program on channel ITVX. I don't know what ITVX is, but it's a channel you can watch online. And I was alerted to this program, and it's presented by Louis Theroux's brother. He's called Marcel Theroux. Very interesting gentleman. He's very thorough. A very interesting program. 2 episodes of about an hour each, and it's all about the murder of this poor lady who was a Playboy model. She was age 21, and her throat was slashed 8 to 10 times. Now, these murders have been linked to other cases. I do apologize about this. Is going to be Finn.
Yeah.
No noise from the pipes. I'm sorry. When guests come to my house, they tend to make noise from above. I should have probably sat in my sitting room. I didn't. I did warn them not to do this, but there we go. Can't do anything about it, so there we are. William Park would like Finn's cards. Well, of course, he totally. No, they are. He's just turning on a tap. Anyway, I do apologize for this noise. This is ridiculous, but there we are. Anyway. Finn did not listen to my request, so you had all the noise on the pipes. Can you close the door? But you didn't. You didn't listen.
Of course I did.
You didn't. You pressed the pipes.
I know. Oh, what? It's called 10.
Yes, the noise. He apologizes to you all for the noise. I don't know how we can make him make a penance, but he is getting requests for his cards. He is not as loud as Min sleeping. Did he wash his hands? Asks CJ. Apology accepted, says Bambi Debonair. He really was very naughty because he was requested just not to go up there. Finn DeLue, there we are. Poor Finn. There is a noise. Well, I shall have to, next time Finn comes around, we'll have to sit in the winter sitting room, which is the sitting room upstairs, because then maybe the noise won't be heard. But I do apologize. Right. So anyway, back to the story of this particular lady, Eva Stratford. Well, I started to watch this program, and it was a very interesting program. And I urge you to watch it, the Playboy Bunny murder. But it's now 45 years later, and it seems it's linked to other unsolved murder cases, including that of Lynn Whedon, who was 16. She was attacked and raped in Hounslow on the 3rd of September the same year. But she was killed in a very different way. And, the DNA at the time was very different. So many sad things to this story. It is a story that's gripping, because I know what it's like to be at the center of a story where justice is not done. For example, the case I've spoken of in the past, the person my family knew who was killed and shot on her doorstep, Diana Moore, and she was shot on her doorstep with a crossbow, and her parents died without justice for her. It is terrible for a parent to die before their child, but it's even worse for a parent to die after their child without their justice being done for their murdered child. And this is a case, this particular Eve Stratford case, where this is also the case. I feel so sorry for them, and I understand this from what we saw with the Diana Moore case. And I think of this poor lady, Diana Moore, quite often. And, I've made programs about Diana Moore. And, my cousin was very much a beneficiary of the will of Diana Moore, but she was a child, so no, she had no reason to order her to be shot on the doorstep with a crossbow. So please don't even go there with that before you start. But it was a terrible, terrible thing for that poor family to have to cope with someone dying in that way. So I feel so sorry for this family of this Eva Stratford and all the other friends also, because with no justice, it's so wrong. I had a personal friend when I was at school, and he was murdered, and he got himself involved with the wrong kind of people. And we know who committed his murder, and they were never convicted because they fled the country. So I have that story. That's a story for another time. I'm not going there this evening, but I have to say, justice in this country is not fair. And this lady who worked with Eva Stratford said she felt sick, really quite sick, that someone could be so cruel as to murder a kid like that for no reason. She would never have done anything to provoke that sort of murder. She was only a kid, and there's nobody left to defend her. Her parents are dead. Her whole bloody family's dead. There's no one but his old boilers who were around in 1975 who can protect her. And isn't this lady, Mrs. Haig, courageous to speak out? Now, this is not my Victoria Haig. This is somebody who works also at the Playboy Club, which was then on Park Lane. It's no longer there. There was another one just around the corner, but it was just a thing of the same name. So I do hope that Marcel Faroux's program can attract some interest in this case and revive the interest, given that there are DNA connections to the case of Lynn Whedon, who was murdered in Hounslow, which is completely on the other side of London, bizarrely. Eva Stratford was murdered in Leighton. It's all very odd. So this man possibly was a serial killer, but in 2015, Lynn's mother, this is the mother of Lynn Whedon, said it's been 40 years since our beautiful daughter has been violently taken from. We are well aware that whoever murdered Lynn also murdered Eve Stratford. That young lady also had her life snubbed out. Her family have died. Another true life sentence. And isn't that so sad that there is no justice in the world? And I have always campaigned for justice for victims. And I also will bring you back now to the other story that I often talk about, which is the family of Stuart Lubbock. Stuart Lubbock was murdered on the 31st of March, 2001, at the home of Michael Barrymore, the television presenter. 9 people went to that house on that date, and 8 people lived. Now, of those 8 people that lived, at least 2 of them murdered Stuart Lubbock because of the injuries on his body. The only way he could have been killed was that he was held down and he was abused sexually and then murdered by 2 of them. And several people at that party were female. they could not have committed those crimes. So that rules them out. That leaves 6 of them. So out of the 6, 1 of them fled the scene. That one being Michael Barrymore. Now, why did he flee the scene? And I was very glad to talk about that program on Channel 5 the other day, where a police detective, now retired, spoke about his views on it. Another of them was Michael Barrymore's then boyfriend, who had convictions for assault. And he has been repeatedly questioned. Now, the rest of them man up, grow up, and show up. It is time you did justice. Stuart Lubbock had 2 children. These children have grown up with no father. I have interviewed Stuart Lubbock's ex-wife on a number of occasions, and we are in contact. I have been in contact in the past with Stuart Lubbock's father, who is now deceased. He died without justice for his son. And this is why I feel I had to talk about this murder of this poor lady, Eva Stratford. Another family who died, members of the family died with no justice. Just like, my close family friend, Diana Moore, her family are all dead. And no justice. So nobody cares. These cases get forgotten. But these people are still, in my view, important. I know these cases are all very different. A Playboy bunny, a billionaire banker associate, like the one from my family, the case of Stuart Lubbock, a man who happened to go to a party at the home of a television presenter. They are all very different cases, but in all of these cases, there's nobody left trying to get justice because everybody is dying. And you, the public, are obsessed with Jack the Ripper. Let's solve the case of Jack the Ripper. I am so bored of hearing about Jack the Ripper. I get sent books about Jack the Ripper. There is the Mad Woman, the crazy novelist, Patricia Cornwell, a very rich woman. She buys paintings by Walter Sickert, a very talented artist. She tears a £450,000 painting apart because she thinks she can get the DNA to prove he's Jack the Ripper. She got knout. She failed. She was the weakest link. This is the problem. The true crime community is obsessed with cases like Jack the Ripper. The stupid criminality of, gangsters, East London people who were complete nobodies, which is why I'm not naming them. Why not try and get justice for people whose families deserve it? Like, for example, the family of Lynn Whedon, a lady who was murdered by the same person who murdered Eva Stratford, the Playboy bunny lady. These people deserve justice. That killer is still out there. That killer has got away with it, has never been sent to jail. This is what justice should be about. And you, the true crime community, I urge you, go delving and digging into things like that. Stop going on about Jack the Ripper. Stop going on about the craze. For goodness sakes, these Tin Pot nobodies. These stories are of utter irrelevance because you cannot change those stories, but you can change these stories. Change the story of Stuart Lubbock. Get justice for the 2 children of Stuart Lubbock. Get justice for the family of Stuart Lubbock. Michael Barrymore is trying to reinvent himself on TikTok. He goes on This Morning, that disgusting ITV sham program. Let's call them out. Keep doing it. Sign my petition. I have started a petition, change.org. I will find it for you right now. I'm going to send it to you. Over 1,000 people have signed it. It's not nearly as many as signed my petition about animals. I've had 50,000 sign those. I have changed the world with my animal petitions, but I think we should change the world for humans. I think humans mean more to me than anything else. So I want you today to support my campaign. As Tim Fowler says, Michael Barrymore should be a pariah. He should be a pariah until he explains why he fled the scene of a murder and rape. He left before the police arrived. Busted says, eloquently said, but it seems only your good self and a few others continue to raise these forgotten people. No, I think it is time that others started to listen. I think people are listening. I think that Marcel Theroux, brother of Louis Theroux, is doing a good thing with his program, The Playboy Bunny Murder. Please watch it. I would like you all to watch that. It is a program that I did not know much about. It is not a case I'm involved in. I don't have extensive knowledge of it, but I think that family deserve justice. There is a link to my petition against ITV. I think that they should never have conducted the interview with Michael Barrymore, promoting him without asking him about this story. Right. Someone called Spearsy says Barrymore is great. Well, Spearsy, whoever you are, you're banned. I do not tolerate people like you. You are blocked. You are obviously some troll. I don't need any more of that. This is a matter. The Lubbock family I've spent time with, these poor people had to endure the terrible things that were said about Stuart Lubbock, a father of 2 who was raped and murdered on the 31st of March 2001 at the bungalow in Roydon, Essex, owned by Michael Barrymore, and 9 people went to a party and 8 of them lived. He did not live, and then they did terrible things to him with door handles, pool thermometers, and other things, and they killed him in a most callous fashion, and then they threw his body in the swimming pool to get rid of the DNA. And then people heard screams, and Michael Barrymore ran away. This is an example of shameless disgrace. Michael Barrymore is a rotten piece of toe rag who is prepared to go on Piers Morgan for £60,000, but he would never face the Lubbock family. The Lubbock family were treated distastefully and disgracefully. And then he went on the program Big Brother, and he dressed up as Hitler, and he worshipped Jimmy Savile and got on his knees and worshipped possibly one of the worst abusers in history on a live television program. And he could not face the family of the person who died in his swimming pool. His poor ex-wife, he lied, and poor Cheryl Barrymore, I believe she was a very decent woman. Everyone I know who knew her tells me she was a very good lady. She tried to support him through his bad behavior. He is an appalling piece of toe rag. I've only ever met Michael Barrymore once. I never ever want to see that rotten scumbag piece of dirt ever again. He he has treated the Lubbock family with distaste and disgrace. He is an appalling, rotten person. He knows something about what went on there, and he ran away. He allowed other people to clear up his mess, but the two women who were present commented that they saw that drawers were being emptied before he ran away. So there are only three options, as I've said on my previous discussions about this, and I'm not going to quote them because I haven't got my notes in front of me about it because I wasn't planning on talking about this. But I would say the three options are: one, he was involved; two, drugs were involved and he didn't want problems; or three, he was just scared about his fame. That's all he cared about. And that is not an excuse for running away from the scene of a rape and murder. And then to come out with the disgusting allegation as he did. And shame on you, Michael Barrymore. You're a piece of filth. You came out with the allegation that the victim, Stuart Lubbock, was sexually abused at the hospital by the hospital staff. That is the most reprehensible, filthy thing that you ever said. You are a shameless, disgusting, revolting, appalling. No, please don't laugh, and it's not funny because I'm friends with the family here. This is not funny. I don't think it's funny at all. Please don't laugh. It is wrong and rotten of you, Barrymore, and you need to be held to account. You quite happily took £60,000 to go on Piers Morgan. Come on, face me. Why don't you come and face me live on television, you rotten piece of toe rag, Barrymore? Go on, instead of going on your stupid TikTok with all the children, because children don't even have a clue what went on back then because they weren't alive. You think that TikTok will reinvent you and you keep going on and on about it. Face me instead. I challenge you, Michael Barrymore. I challenge you tonight. Face me live on television. Let's see how you fare with that. I've got all my questions ready for you. Let's see how you answer about the 8 people who lived at your home and the one that died. Come on, Michael Barrymore. Man up, grow up, and show up. That's my challenge to Michael Barrymore tonight. I was not planning on doing that. That is not where I was even planning on going. I was going to talk about the Playboy bunny murders. But I don't know the people involved in that story. But I do know the people involved in this. I also would like to talk about, Omar Benguit, another person who's suffering injustice. I'd like to talk about Mark Alexander, another person suffering injustice, who are 2 people who are wrongly in prison. I would like to help get them out of prison. I always talk about them. They are 2 cases that I have passion for. Jeremy Bamber, I think there should be a reinvestigation into his case. I'm not saying if he's innocent or guilty, but I do think his case was extremely flawed. Guess what? Jeremy Bamber, Michael Barrymore, guess which? Police force were involved. Essex. Yes, Essex police force. I would say, shame on you. You are one of the worst police forces in Britain for miscarriages of justice. There seems to be a lot of strange things. Dr. Jones, there's another case. I'm not an expert on that, but my friend is, and I've spoken extensively with him. I'm not an expert because it's so long ago, there's not much information about it. And none of the people are still alive. It's one of those ones, rather like the other ones we've been talking about. So there we go. Dr. Jones, there's another case. And the poor wife who died in the Jaguar XJS. Odd case that. And Essex police. Essex police, you really aren't much use, are you? Anyway, I will continue to call out corruption and chaos. And now we shall move along. We're already at nearly an hour. Oh dear. I think we have spoken for long enough, but I had a number of topics I could have talked to you about, but I think it's better we perhaps postpone those. Um, have I seen that Ian Huntley's daughter has been speaking today? No, I haven't. Um, I think at this juncture today, there's no way that Michael Barrymore will speak with Matthew, says Kaz Williams. Well, I think you are completely right. He would have no interest in speaking with me because I am not going to be a toad and just lick his ass like the people on This Morning, the dreadful Josie Dozy Gibson, who went, "Oh, you were a hero of my childhood." Well, she is a weak link as well. I think she's in that Jungle program. She's probably best left there. Awful. Absolutely appalling. Harriet is ready to do a quiz, I think. William Park says it's not an hour. You would like me to keep going? Did I go to lunch? Yes, we went to lunch with a lovely fan who does not wish to be named and her daughter. So, no, that was something I can't talk about, but they were very delightful people and we had a very nice time at lunch. Wendy Palmer says, Michael Barrymore is a coward. You are spot on. You are bang on the nail. Michael Barrymore is a reprehensible piece of toe rag. He is an SHIT. He is a disgrace. He should be thrown into the sewer where he belongs. The Lubbock family have suffered. Those poor children of that man have grown up with no father. That is an appalling thing. To grow up without your father because he was raped and murdered at the home of a British television entertainer who is now disgraced, quite rightly. It's an appalling thing. And at least those children have been protected in some way. You know, they haven't ever been featured in the story. I think that is a good thing because obviously they know about what happened, but they are not mentioned. And I think it's best that they are not mentioned further. But those children, they are the important people now because Stuart Lubbock's father, Terry, is now dead. He died and he spent his entire life after 2001 trying to get justice against Barrymore. He sent an injunction when he was in the celebrity Big Brother house because the man had fled to New Zealand and then he suddenly came back to be in Watford in the Big Brother house. He even sent an injunction to that house to try and sue him. He did everything he could to try and get that man to come out of the woodwork. And all that man did was go on Piers Morgan and go, wasn't my fault. I'm a funny man. It's disgraceful. Absolutely appalling. And having been involved in other stories of this type, this man Barrymore should be brought to answer some questions before he dies, because we shouldn't let this story slip. And now, even though Stuart Lubbock's father Terry is dead, now is the time to continue campaigning. We must get justice for him. And Essex police say the case is still open. But what do they do about it? They're bone idle. They're lazy. According to them, 9 people went to a party and 8 of them lived. Now, there could have been others there. Now, the lady who I mostly speak to about this, and she believes that there were only 9 people there. I don't know. There could have been more. His agent appeared later and removed items from the scene. Now, that was a major part of the problem with the case, because items were removed, items vanished. the pool handle, the pool thermometer, and a door handle, which were clearly likely two of the weapons of assault that were used upon this poor man. And this poor man was not a homosexual, and he was not into any of this. He'd just gone to a party at a house with a group of people after they'd met in a nightclub, and probably it was the biggest mistake of his life. He should never have gone. But we all do silly things in our life, but it doesn't mean we need to die. And this cruel, wicked bunch of people all have blood on their hands, and I name and shame them as often as I can, and I will continue to do so. Justin Merritt, Kylie Merritt, Jonathan Kenny, I can't remember all of them, Michael Barrymore, they were all there. Lots of them. Anyway, you can read the whole list on my website, and I identify as many details about them as I can. They are appalling people, and some of them made money selling stories. Disgraceful people. Let's keep outing these people until one of them rats on the other, because they're a bunch of rats. They're a bunch of scumbags. And they're like the rats on the Titanic. They should sink with the bloody ship. A disgusting bunch of people who have taken away the father of two beautiful children. Shame on them. So no, I cannot get more passionate about a story than a story like this, because I have spent time talking with the victims, who are the family. They have lost their loved one. And, I lost somebody, I didn't know her that well compared to other members of my family, but Diana Moore was a lovely lady, and she was shot on her doorstep with a crossbow, and she meant a lot to my family. And that was a terrible thing. And all her family now are dead, and nobody ever got sent to prison. We never got justice. So we never forget. When you suffer a loss of that type, you never forget it. Because out there is some cretin who's got away with it. And that is wrong. And I will keep campaigning. And that is why I thought Marcel Theroux's program about Eva Stratford, a lady who died 45 years ago. Okay, most people wouldn't care. Let's get justice for her. Stop going on about the Jack the Ripper victims. That was hundreds of years ago. It's not relevant. We can't do anything about that now. There was no DNA. There's nothing you can prove. So Patricia Cornwell, why don't you invest your money, Patricia Cornwell, in finding the killer of Stuart Lubbock? There were 9 people who went to a party, Patricia. 8 of them lived. Come on, Patricia, put your money in. You could solve this case. You're a multi-millionairess. You are a very successful novelist. You could make a great story out of the success of solving this crime. Make you more millions. But you won't, because you like to talk about Jack the Ripper, because the general public want to hear about that. Now, I think we should change the narrative and help people who can be helped. And the Lubbock family are alive, and they need justice. So let's try and help the Lubbock family. Anyway, let's move along. It's time for your pub quiz. Right, this is a different book. Oh dear, I don't know how this book works. I've got to work it out first. No. I'm confused by this book. Right, it has different rounds. I think we may have to pause and send Finn upstairs. Could Finn go upstairs and get my yellow quiz book off from the sitting room? It's on the sitting. It's on a. Oh, it's on the chair arm. I'm trying to work out how this quiz book works, because it doesn't have quite a logical order to it. Oh, it does. I've worked it out now. There we are. Thank you to you all for your kind support and patience and to listening to me going on about injustice. We don't like injustice. Harry Giles says, remember, this is just for fun. Finn has found the yellow book. We'll begin with the yellow book on this occasion. Oh, we need to close the door, Finn, and you need to have another glass of wine, Finn. We may as well finish off the wine, Finn.
Yes. Let's finish. We'll do it for the wine growers.
Well, you've got your wine glass on the sofa, Finn.
We'll do it for the wine growers.
Finn, you have your wine glass on the sofa.
Okay.
Here we are. Finn is in. And he can top me up as well first. Good luck to you all. Anyway, no, we don't like injustice, but we also like fun. So we have to do our little quiz. And I don't know where Finn is, where he is, or what's going on, but well, here we are. We're going to. Right. Well, don't put it there. Oh, God. Right. Right. We're going to try a random page, which will be right. Here we are. The different quiz book. Oh, the first random page I hit was the one we'd already done. Right. Right. I'll try a random page. When it began in July 1995, Amazon only sold what? It wasn't Cilla Black. No. I think Paulie is the winner with books, but I shall have to check. Yes, Paulie is the winner. See, I knew the answer to that question. Even I knew that, and I'm a weak link. Right. In 1952, Albert Einstein was offered but declined the opportunity to become president of which country? Paulie gets the point again with Israel. There you are, Israel. There you are. Right. A standard double domino 6 domino set consists of how many tiles? It is not 15. Joe McIntyre is the winner with 28. Well done to Joe McIntyre, new entrant into the game. Right. Question number 4. Which video game vendor has a name that is the value of a dime? It's not Prince Tone. It's not EA Sports. It's not Sega. It's not Cent. Bambi Debonair is close, but it's not the actual name. So if Bambi Debonair can rephrase it, Bambi Debonair could possibly get the point. But it's not written in the format that Bambi Debonair has written it. It is not Atari and it's not Nintendo. It's not 50 cents. Bambi Debonair wins now with 10 cent. The name is 10 cent, but it is a word, not a number. So, obviously, no one is called 10 cent, 10 cent. That is not a name. Actor Thompson, snooker player Virgo, and poet Cooper Clarke are all famous Johns from which English city? It's not Leeds. The answer is William Park is the winner with Salford, which of course was where Lowry also hailed from, which a very strong connection with my family, the artist Lowry. So there we go, Salford, Manchester. My family are very closely linked there. So there you are. Question number 6. How many lines are in a sonnet? I did know the answer to this, but I just checked. Anna Perkins wins with 14. Well done to Anna Perkins, the fastest finger first, who came in ahead of others with 4, 23, 6, 7, and 8. Well, you're way off the mark. No, it's 14, of course. A sonnet always has 14. Let's be frank and to the point. Right, next question. The problem with this book is you have to go back and forth. The other book there is much easier, I've now realised. Macca Packa, Iggle Piggle, and the Ninky Nonk are characters in which TV shows for toddlers? I have utterly no idea of the answer to this one, but we need the full name of the program. Daniel Wildgoose is obviously into such programs. Daniel Wildgoose likes In the Night Wild Garden. Well done to Daniel Wildgoose, who obviously watches such programs. Can't say I do myself. Does Finn watch those? Have you ever watched In the Night Garden?
No.
Finn has never watched In the Night Garden. I think Finn is more into painters in Salford, Manchester, such as Lowry. Right, next question. Which manufacturer produces the Stratocaster range of guitars? Well, I probably could have guessed the answer to this, even though I'm not musical. The winner is Sandy Pantalon with Fender. It is not Gibson, but that is probably quite a good alternative possible answer. But it is Fender. So Sandy Pantalon, a new entrant, wins the point. Right. Question number 9. In the name of the optical barcodes technology, what does QR code stand for? Speak up, please. Oh, well, I'm speaking very loudly. Do you want me to shout at you? No. It does not mean hot pot. Do you want me to scream and yell? No, I don't think that's wise. No one has complained to date. The winner is Anna Perkins with quick response. Right. Anna Perkins gets the point. Ignore him, he's trying to work me up. Well, please block him. He is the weakest link. Tell him goodbye. We don't need him anymore. Thank you very much. Get rid of annoying people. We don't need any more. Right. Next one. Your halfway house. What are the 3 light blue properties on a standard UK Monopoly board? Oh. And we need all of them. We don't need one. I need all of them. You have to name every single one of them. Thank you, Harriet, for blasting him. Bye-bye. The weakest link. Off you go. Pip, pip. It is not Mayfair and Park Lane, Piccadilly, Bambi, Debonair. They are dark blue. We are talking light blue. It's not Anthea Turner's keyring. Right. It's not Nottingham swim baths. No, it's not Mayfair or Marylebone and Park Lane. Right. Anna Perkins comes close, but we need the full names. I think Anna Perkins can have the point because she says Pentonville, Euston Road, Angel, Islington. Yes, okay, we can accept Anna Perkins's answer. Well done to Anna Perkins for getting the point. Right. Question 11. What name was given to the 7th of December 1972 color photograph of the entire Earth, the first ever taken by a human? It wasn't Cilla Black, and it wasn't Google Earth Day. It wasn't the blue spot. It wasn't the blue thing. Nicole says I'm something at these questions. You're all close with your blue reference, but you haven't said the correct name. You are close, but you are far, far away. I'm the biggest, whatever I can't say. You are the winner with the blue marble. I'm the biggest in capital letters with the C word after it. I can't repeat your name. I have urged you to change your name because your name cannot be read out because it will get us all banned or something, I've been told. So I can't use your name. This is offensive. But we do like that you are in the process of changing your name. Well, you better hurry up and get on with changing your name because your name is a bit irritating to this channel. We can't have your channel. You can't be polluting our channel with the silly name. It's a bit silly of you. And we don't like capital letters either, so make sure it's in a lowercase. We like you very much, but please change your name. Thank you. Right. Next question. Cuthbert the Caterpillar, a chocolate cake. Oh God, this is a bizarre question. From the supermarket chain Aldi was sued by which rival in April 2021? I do remember this stupid episode. The winner with Marks and Spencer's is Anna Perkins. It was Colin the Caterpillar and Cuthbert the Caterpillar. Two stupid supermarkets getting worked up in a publicity war, which probably generated lots of sales for them both. Right. Dye Woodham's scrapyard, once famed for its huge supply of British rolling stock. Finn has now decided to lie down on the floor. I'm not quite sure why. Finn, why are you lying down on the floor?
To watch you.
And he likes to watch from the floor. Why don't you sit on the sofa? Dye Woodham's scrapyard, once famed for its huge supply of British rolling stock, was located in which town in South Wales? A horrible place, I will say. I came across somebody once from there who was involved in a brewery, so I didn't like him. No. Anna Perkins wins with Barry. Yes, Barry. Horrible place. Question 14. And I'm not saying shithole like a certain government minister said of Stockton. So I'm just saying it's a horrible place. I'm not insulting the people of Barry. I'm sure you're very nice people, but I don't want to go back there ever again. I didn't really like the place. It was very ugly. There we go. Question 14. In drafts, how many pieces does each player start with in drafts? Anna Perkins wins with 12. Harry Giles says, my father's from Barry, LOL. Well, I'm very sorry, Harry, for insulting the people of Barry, but I think Barry is not really a place that I ever wish to return to. I don't think I'll be taking a speaking tour there because they'll probably lynch me, given what I've just said. I didn't mean to be rude, but I didn't go as far as James Cleverly, the government minister who called the people of Stockholm a shithole. I don't think he'll ever be able to go there ever again. I was not that rude, but I do apologise to the people of Barry. I perhaps shouldn't have said what I said. That was perhaps a little bit cruel to the people of Barry. I apologise unreservedly if I caused offence to the people of Barry. Nicole says we shan't marry in Barry. Well, that's quite witty of you. I don't think we'll be getting married on any occasion yet, Nicole, but you are a lovely person.
I'll marry her.
Finn says he'd like to marry you instead, Nicole. So, but no, we love you, Nicole. You are a wonderful person, but Finn would like to marry you, even though he's never met you. That is quite a bizarre statement on his behalf.
Marvelous to me.
He says it sounds marvelous to him. Finn, could you be quiet? We're doing a quiz. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, but Finn, you're lying on the floor with a hat on.
That's why she's left marry.
Finn, please sit on the sofa and behave yourself. It is like dealing with a small child at times. You're going to break the glass if you're not careful. That's very, very stupid. We don't need a broken glass. Right. Dealing with Finn is a bit of a trial at times when he's nearly broken a glass. You know, Finn, control the glass, Finn. Right. Wedding bells for Nicole and Finn. It's a sin.
Sounds marvelous.
Finn sounds rather tipsy. Finn has excellent taste, says Harriet. Susie Ashton says, you would make a lovely dad, Matthew. Well, William Park says, I'm just like Finn, I think. Harriet says, the Finn and Min show. Yes, we had that in the summer, but that's over for now.
We haven't had enough of it yet.
Yes, Finn, don't interrupt. Thank you. I'm repeating the things. I can have my ring back then. Oh. Finn is brilliant, says Kaz. Finn, do as you're told and behave, says Harry. Right, so that's you told by Harry Giles. Right, can we finish this quiz? Question 15, derived from their supposed habit of wearing footwear with quiet rubber soles. Gumshoe is a nickname for someone in which profession? A gumshoe. It's not a Wellington. It's not a police or detective. No, it is a kind of detective, but you need to give me the proper name. Anna Perkins wins with private detective, because it's not a public detective. So well done to Anna Perkins. Question 16. Which Italian green sauce is made of chopped parsley, lemon zest, and garlic? It's not pesto, though that would be an obvious comparison. It is not pesto, so stop saying pesto. You're not getting very far with it by saying pesto. No. It's not oregano. It's not verge. I don't think you know your Italian sauces, clearly. It's not a vinaigrette. No. It's not pecorino or gazpacho. No. It's not salsa verde. It's not Camilla Tominey. No. It's not green pepper. It's not. I don't like Italian food. Some of you do give some very strange answers. It's not I'm a Rolex watch. It's not tapas. It's not gremolata. Oh, it is gremolata. Sorry. Chili Kareen wins with gremolata. Chili Kareen, you are the winner. You are the strongest links. Yes. Well done to you. Well done to Chili Kareen. You are quite a strong link on occasions, Chili Kareen. When the rest of them fail, you seem to come through. Well done to you. Right. Question 17. Finn is looking at me through his bizarre hat, looking quite bizarre. As measured in total passenger numbers, he's rather off-putting tonight. What was the airport every year between 1998 and 2019? I need the full name of the airport. No. All of you are on the different thing. No. None of you have got even close. Gemini would like to go to Finn and Nicole's wedding.
I'll marry her.
He'd marry you. There you go, he says. It seems none of you know the answer to the question, so we will delete the question. The question is redundant because we've had too many fake answers, too many false answers. The answer is Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, USA, according to this quiz book. So that question is nobody won the point. So it doesn't matter. Right, Finn, don't go wandering around. No, don't go flushing the pipes.
I go to weed.
Oh, right. The next question is the Guinness Book of World Records states that those whose November 1963 murder was the world's first to be ever televised live. It wasn't JFK, but it was connected to that matter, according to this. Bambi Debonair gets the point with Lee Harvey Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald was the person televised. Well, he didn't listen and he made more noise. I do apologize for the noise. Finn is a complete menace. I think next time we do a program, we will have to ban him from going near the lavatorial area because his lavatorial behavior is not acceptable to our broadcasting credentials. Finn, you did exactly what you were told not to do and made noise. He likes behaving badly. He probably never even used the lavatory. He just went up there to make noise. This is the kind of trick my friends like to pull on me, to make noise, to make me sound bad. This is a very bad thing that Finn has done. So Finn will be Finn will be quiet now. He has no right to speak. Finn, you are the weakest link. You're told to sit there and behave yourself. No, he hasn't been. No, don't swear on my channel. You have no right to swear.
Swear.
Naughty Finn, yes. Irish Fairy Tarot says naughty Finn. Finn, and put him in the sin bin.
I am in the sin bin.
Yes, Finn, go sit on the naughty step.
I am on the naughty step.
Nicole says, be nice to my man. No, she's in love with you, is Nicole. So be quiet.
I'm in love with you, Nicole.
He's in love with you, Nicole. Anyway, enough is enough. Let me finish my quiz. Enough is enough. I'm getting bored of this. Right. Which one-time WBC heavyweight champion was well known for the phrase, know what I mean, Ari? It wasn't Hulk Hogan. Nicole gets the... Sorry, not Nicole. Nicole gets the point, yes. Frank Bruno. Well done to Nicole. Finn's new lover gets the point with Nicole. Finn and Nicole haven't even met. No, Finn, be quiet. Finn, be quiet. You are interrupting the quiz.
I love Nicole.
Shh. You're meant to be quiet. You're meant to be audience. You're not meant to speak. Please don't speak. And the final question. Which golfer tied for 6th place at the 1998 US Masters at the age of 58? If you can't get this, you're worse than the village idiot. It is not Nick Faldo. It was certainly not Tiger Woods. It wasn't Lee Westwood. It wasn't David Beckham. It wasn't John Player, Arnold Palmer, Ian Woosnam. Well, Sharon gets the answer correct with Jack Nicholas. But she only put Nicholas. But I will allow Sharon Osvenom, which is you can have this. Anna Perkins has won with 7 points. Paulie and Bambi tied for 2nd place. Thank you to Harriet for keeping the scores. No thank you to Finn for interrupting the questions with his lavatorial actions. And no thank you to other people for your other interruptions. But well done to the winners. And here we are. We've done 1 hour 27 on the old quiz book and talking about serial killers and Michael Barrymore. Well, Michael Barrymore and the bungalow. I think we need to know a lot more about that. But I urge you to go away and watch the program, the Playboy Bunny Murder. I shall be going off myself to go to bed shortly, and I shall watch some of Irvin Welsh's crime program, which is also on ITV, because I rather like Irvin Welsh. It will send me to sleep, because I normally read at this hour, but since I did not sleep very well last night because of the weather, I think the easiest way to go to sleep is to put on a television show and it'll send me to sleep. I'll wake up in the morning, 7 episodes of it all played, and I'll probably watch 2. So there we go. Anyway, I don't know who Courtney is, but if you're being obnoxious, well done. Get rid. Please don't block my friends. We want to keep my friends in this house. They may make jokes that could be a bit offensive, but the people who are extremely rude, please get rid of them. Thank you for your kindness in doing that. Sandy says good night from East Texas. Well, good night to you in East Texas, Sandy. And thank you to the hundreds of you that are here. And thank you. It's a great pleasure to have lovely people here. Hilarious to have interruptions from Finn. Hope Finn sleeps peacefully and keeps warm. There we are. I think you say keep warm, but I think you mean keep warm. There we are. Oh, you often fall asleep. Oh, well, good night from Australia. And well done to Anna Perkins. Here we are. There we go. All of you are coming out. The troll this, the troll that. Right. Well, I say thank you very much to you all. You have been wonderful, delightful, and charming. And it has been yet another evening of chitter chatter and conversation with interruptions from Finn, who likes to butt in, and others. So thank you to you all. Good night to you all. Take care. Good night. Good gardening, as they say. And as the late, great Jill Dando once said, don't have nightmares. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.